YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. Today, we got more NFL player rankings for the 2021 season. I'm ranking interior offensive linemen, so I picked out the 32 best for this upcoming season. Going to rank them 32 to 1. Something to keep in mind is there are 96 starting interior offensive linemen in the NFL between guard in the center position, of course. So everyone that made this list I view as a very good player, and there's some players that didn't make the list that are good players. So it's a little different than the other rankings there, but we're going to break it down. Really enjoyed this one because there's a lot of good players to choose from here. We got all kinds of player rankings. We're going on to defense next, and then we'll rank some units and more. We got you covered here. Make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, follow us on Twitter. Link down below. All that much appreciated. And here's our Twitter. A little sneak peek to a lot of videos, and always talk NFL news. And we have a poll going on. We're all the way to the Super Bowl. You guys voted. We got a rematch, and this will turn into a video, but you guys voted every step of the way here. So always doing things like that in our Twitter, so check it out. So starting towards the bottom, I don't really want to call it that because all these guys are good. I put Cesar Ruiz of the Saints. Remember, he's a rookie last year at 32. Maybe a little bold because he didn't even start going into last year. He got a good amount of reps, but I'm thinking he's going to really step up this year. I liked him a lot out of Michigan a year ago. So, and then with that good group of the Saints offensive line, I think he really steps up here. So I actually have him in the top 32. We'll see. Mark Lewinsky, maybe not the biggest name of that big-time Colts offensive line, but pretty consistent for the most part. Very good in run blocking, but yeah, again, not the biggest name in that group. I think another guard is the big name, but then their tackles, I know they're a little bit of a change at left tackle. But Andrew Norwell of the Jags, been a very good, somewhat consistent guard for a long time. I think took a little step down last year, but still a top 32 guard. Kevin Zeitler was with the Giants, well, he was with the Browns, then with the Giants, now with the Ravens. I think he really fits what the Ravens are trying to do there. A lot of man blocking, power blocking schemes. So I think he fits that more. So he started to decline a little bit, but I think he can step back up here with the Ravens. I like to fit. The Titans center and Ben Jones been very consistent. Not really a big name, but been very good, very consistent there. I think one of the better centers. There's a good group of 5 or 6 of them that I think are or consider the top centers. I think he's up there. Richie Incognito, pretty tough to rank here. The Raiders guard. Because he's very solid, very solid. We didn't really see him at all last year. Saw a little bit of him year before. Played pretty well. Can he finish the season? Can he play a whole season? If he does, he's better than 27. But you would think there's a little bit of decline in there as well. Brandon Linder of the Jags was one of the better centers in football last year. Very solid season. So I think he continued to play around that range. Will Hernandez, I think we've expected a little more from Hernandez. I know there were some slight injuries in there, minor injuries, but I think we get a little more out of him this year, and then he comes in at number 25. The next group of guys here, I got Marcus Cannon, who's now on the Texans and now playing guard. We expect him to play guard for the Texans. He's played a bit of guard, but mainly tackle, right tackle at times for the Patriots, now with the Texans, of course. I think he'd be a solid guard. He's not as good. Back when the Patriots were on that run, obviously winning some Super Bowls, I mean, he was a top-tier offensive lineman in football. He's really not there anymore, but his job actually become a little easier playing guard here. It might be that guy that kind of completes the unit for the Texans to help them, make them better. Chris Lindstrom, the young guard of the Falcons, where they drafted him in the first round a few years ago. It was a little surprising, how high they took him, but it didn't change the fact that he's a very solid guard. I'm expecting more from him. He really hasn't played to this level at all yet, but I'm expecting a big step up because he's a very good, young, talented player here. So now's the time. So I'm banking on him stepping up. Nate Davis of the Titans, tough one to rank too because second year was last year. He played very, very well, very well. Out of Charlotte too last year too, so it wasn't really a big name guy, and he played extremely well, not letting any pressure behind him, and very dominant in terms of run blocking. But is he going to continue on that? He's not really supposed to be this good. He wasn't expected to be this good. So I thought he had a really good year last year. So kind of banking on him continuing on with that. Laken Tomlinson, who came into the league as a guard, or a tackle, playing guard for the 49ers. That's very solid for them. Jason Kelsey at 20. He took a big step down last year. Also comes with some injury concern. If this was even just 2 years ago, maybe, way higher than 20, way better than 20. It's just, with those injuries and really took a step down last year, it's tough to rank him super high. Robert Hunt, I think, is going to be a beast. I think the Dolphins are going to move him to guard. There's still, a chance they can keep him at right tackle. I think he's solid there, but I graded him as a guard. I graded him very highly. I think he could be a Pro Bowl guard, maybe not right now, but I think he's going to be a stud. So if he's playing guard, it's definitely something to look out for. That's why I got him in the top 20. Cody Whitehair of the Bears, who's played center and guard for the Bears, and they'll keep him at guard here. I think they're going to use Mustafa at center. I like Whitehair a lot. He's been very solid. I think that Bears interior offensive line is pretty solid, actually. It's about staying healthy. You've seen Whitehair hurt. James Daniels, which was very close to I was very close to putting him on the list. I think he's solid. Just got to stay healthy. But I do like Whitehair's game a lot. J.C. Treader, the center from the Browns. A lot of Browns making this list. He comes in at 17 here. Obviously, one of the better offensive line, maybe the best offensive line in football, the Browns. Next group of guys, Frank Ragnow. We see some centers on this list here. Frank Ragnow, who just got paid, one of the better centers in football, the Detroit Lions. I think he actually can continue to get better even. And then Michael Onwenu, who was the rookie hidden gem basically out of Michigan that the Patriots found. He moved around a bit too, guard, tackle, so I love that, but I do think he's a guard. I think he's a pretty good one. Again, it really feels like they found a gem there. Corey Linsley, who, based off last year alone, I thought was the best center in football. Just that 1 year, is he the best in general? I guess it's to be determined. I don't have him as the highest rated center, but he definitely can be there. Wouldn't be surprising. Just going from the Packers, which is a great unit. They always got their guys balling, the small name guys, the guy that has to step up. They're all playing at a high level. So there could be a little bit of adjustment. I still think he plays at a high level. I think maybe, maybe expecting a little too much if you expect him to play like the very best center. Like, for sure, he's going to play like the best center. If he does, it's crazy good, and he can. But I think going from the Packers or Chargers, maybe won't play like the very best center, but he's definitely up there. I got him at 14. Ryan Jensen of the Buccaneers, again, one of the better centers in football. One of those rare centers that you see kind of getting that next level downfield, making those blocks downfield. So it really stands out. Big piece to that dominant Buccaneers offensive line there. Next group of guys, Shaq Mason at 12. So you see a couple Patriots already showing up on here. Definitely been one of the better guards, for the last couple of years here, last few years. So, that offensive line's really coming together. They kind of put some finishing touches on it this offseason. So Shaq Mason up there with the guards. Brandon Brooks, very tough one to rank. If you can tell me, we could fast forward, the season happened. Let's say he stayed healthy the entire year. He was on the field the entire year. He's better than 11. He's top 5. He's probably number 3, really 3, 4, somewhere around that range. But it is tough to, he missed all of last year, that unfortunate injury in the offseason. And he's had some issues where he came off the field with anxiety. Hopefully, I think that's all cleared up. Hopefully, because he's very good, very good. So he's very tough to rank, because for those reasons, I put him at 11. It's just one of those guys that makes these lists very hard to do. Wyatt Teller at 10. Another Browns guy stepping up. Remember, he wasn't anything special, on the Bills, wasn't a big name guy. Then he goes to that Browns team, that unit, and that just helps him out a lot. I think it helps having, those standout guys around him for sure, but he's been playing very, very well. And the number one center on this list comes in at number 9. That's Rodney Hudson. Now with the Cardinals, the Raiders let him go, goes to the Cardinals. I definitely think he's been the most consistent. In general, you take the last several years, who was the best center? You look at Hudson, you probably look at Jason Kelsey, but Hudson, the ability that he's still, the fact that he's still playing at that level is pretty ridiculous. So we'll see how he is going from the Raiders and the Cardinals. Little different system there. I don't think things changed too much for Rodney Hudson. I guess definitely more reps in pass protection. So we'll see how that is. If it's different, I don't think it's gonna change his game. But it's going to be interesting to see him on the Cardinals for sure. So number 1 center on the list comes in at number 9. Again, there's centers and guards all over these rankings. I do think guards, you tend to rank a little higher. Brandon Scherf, number 8 on the list, Washington football team, who just got a good chunk of money this offseason. Just got to stay healthy, because he could be another one that he doesn't have like major injury concern, or where you're not on the Brandon Brooks level, but it's popped up. Injuries have popped up, and if he can stay healthy, he could be better in this. Elgin Jenkins at number 7, who I think is pretty underrated. I guess it could be tough for some people to rank if you're just ranking, guards, because he really stands out because he plays guard, center. You even seen him play tackle at like equally that high of a level. So, definitely one of the more versatile guys in this list. But Yeah, I like him at guard. I like the way that he held down Aaron Donald last year, and he's only getting better. He's just a young guy that came in the league a couple years ago, so I think he's an absolute stud. Roger Saffold, another one of those consistent guys. You know what you're going to get from him. The Titans are able to run the ball so effectively. I mean, they got a damn good running back, but a guy that really stands out in run blocking the most on the offensive line is Roger Saffold, a bully in the run game there. Joe Thuney, I got a number 5. I think he's going to be big time for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball more effectively, not just because of Thuney. They added, guys, get a guy like Duvernay Tardif back. But I think Thuney's going to be the main piece why they're going to be able to run the ball more effectively with their young, talented running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And that's going to stand out. When they're going to be able to run the ball more, we're going to look at Thuney, that addition, and we're like, wow, okay. And I do feel like he's getting better as it is, so why he gets kind of get a boost there. And why he's at number 5. And he got a big payday as well there. Top 4, the big boys here. I got Joel Bitonio. So the whole Cleveland Browns interior made the video. All 3 of them made the video here. The center, Treader, and both guards, of course. He comes at number 4. I think he's the best of the group there. Really the whole group. I know Wills is is special. He's got a big-time future there. But Bitonio's been fantastic there on the interior. Ali Marpet, the small school kid, has really figured it out here. See why he was drafted so high quite a few years ago. But just been a standout guy for them. Big piece of that offensive line. Maybe the best piece, but like the Browns, they got a young guy like Tristan Wirfs who, if you could debate, he's going to be the best piece as well. The Bucs had a pretty good outing in these rankings too because Ryan Jensen made the list. 1 and 2 is, these guys are elite. It's pretty much 1A and 1B. I got Zach Martin at 2, and I got Quentin Nelson at 1. Two Golden Domers here. You could debate Martin because he's so damn talented. How is a guy like this not number 1? Because there's another guy like Quentin Nelson, but Zach Martin got to fill in at tackle, and he stands out there as well. He's just that good. So that would be the reason to argue Martin. I think Nelson probably could fill in at tackle, but the reason to argue Nelson is scary. He actually could be getting better. He's still young, but I think health too. Nelson just being healthier. Martin does have some injury concern, but he's just so damn talented. But Quentin Nelson, guy that can make a highlight tape out of, playing guard is pretty ridiculous. Just bullying people play by play, really. And then, again, I mentioned he actually could be getting better here, which is just crazy to think because is it even possible? But, Quentin Nelson shouldn't really be a surprise. The top group here shouldn't really be surprised. I guess the whole rankings itself will definitely, where do you value the center position? How high would you put the top center? So I guess that comes into play. And then a lot of young guys that were close to making the list. I almost consider, because I do rank rookies because they're going to play this year, of course, and we're going for this season. Elijah Vera Tucker almost made this list here. I think he can be a solid guard. Did play more tackle last year, so kind of going back to guard. Maybe a small adjustment period, but I think he's got a future, maybe Pro Bowl guard there. So that's got to look out for as well. Those are my interior offensive line rankings. Again, guards and centers. And again, there's 96 starters at these positions across the NFL. So good guys didn't make the list. Everybody on this list, very good. And the reason I rank these guys together, too, they're pretty interchangeable. I know not everyone can snap the ball. Not every center can play guard. But we see guys all the time go from guard to center, go from center to guard, go from left guard to right guard to left guard. So it happens during the year, throughout the year. So I thought these guys belong together here. But we're on the defense next. Interior defensive line. Bunch of guys with, in that group that are very talented. Edge rushers to rank. Those are what's coming next. So join us, smash the like button, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Very important. Any link that you're looking for down in the description comments. That's going to do it, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.